Welcome to the Graybeard Chronicles podcast. Your hosts, Brian Halstead and Kevin Harkins, are two gray-bearded patriots who love God, their family and friends, and their country. The Graybeards are here to inspire, inform, and educate you on a myriad of topics they are passionate about. Brian and Kevin have a strong desire to share this with you to help you live your best life. Sit back and enjoy this amazing podcast as the Graybeards pass along the wisdom of the ages.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Graybeard Chronicles. I'm Brian Halstead.
And I'm Kevin Harkins.
And Kevin, we're here to pass along some wisdom of the ages. What the heck does that mean?
We're not perfect, but we do have gray beards. And that means we've got some significant life experience, some life lessons, and some perspectives that are worthy of passing along.
Well, I think that sums it up nicely. Let's get to it. Kevin, what's going on, sir?
Hello, Brian. How are you tonight?
I am outstanding, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing excellent, and I'm feeling particularly inspired today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
From your jail cell? Where are you there? It's weird that they allow you to have vegetation in your jail cell.
They do.
I am messing with you. I love that brick wall.
Yes. Oh, yes. I know you do. I know. No. I'm starting a bust collection, and Abe is going to sit here and inspire me today. This is Abe. Maybe I should pull this down a little bit.
I know we talked about that before we started recording, and I absolutely love your idea of starting this bust collection. I think that's cool. Collecting stuff is fun. And
it is.
That's a cool start.
Nobody's better at it than you. I'll say that. I'm inspired by you initially, and now
right? At my pipe collection.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's a cool one, and it's great that it was a gift from your daughter, or inspired by your daughter. She found it, and
yes.
they took care of getting that for you. Pretty cool, right? But we did have a conversation about Abe and the fact that looks like Abe before Weight Watchers.
Maybe a young Abe before he got all stressed out.
Because he looks way thicker than all the other images of him I've seen.
There we go. I'm kind of liking Abe. So Abe's gonna sit here. I'll put him down in the corner, and we'll just have a talk. But yeah, I'm gonna start collecting these guys, and I have a number of people who have inspired me over the years for one reason or another. Not perfect people, but I love something about their lives.
You're gonna channel Abe's wisdom tonight.
Yes, indeed. Well, I haven't been around him long enough yet to be able to start channeling, but I'm gonna start working on it. Yes.
Yeah, Abe. I think Abe's good to go. I think he's going to be able to. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he just winked at me, which means he's got this.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So we had a guest scheduled for tonight, and circumstances beyond our control. Something happened scheduling wise, and we don't have a guest tonight. So we didn't pre-plan a backup topic like we have done in times past, but we always have something to talk about. Do we not?
We do. You know what? I'm going to move Abe out of the screen because I think Abe might be messing with the light. Yeah, I think the light is trying to adjust to him. See, there we go.
Yeah, it's probably focusing on him.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, yes, we are ready to go to the bucket and talk about important topics that we have therein.
Dun, dun.
But you're going to have to remind me, will you pull it out and then one person goes first? And then this, or we just run off in conversation, right?
It's our podcast, so we can do this however we want.
Yeah,
so, if you just want to talk about it and then ask me questions about it or vice versa, there's really no specified format to how this has to go down.
All right. I'm ready.
So, we'll pull out the first topic here and we'll see where we go from here. All right, you ready? I have not stacked the deck here, as you expressed a concern about before we started. I have not done anything with this bucket since the last time we used it. All the topics are still the same. I'm not looking in the bucket. I'm looking directly at you. So I don't know what I'm picking out of here, but I do know that I have picked one. So let's see what it says. And I have picked just one. Well, look at that. That's a great freaking topic. Want to know what it is?
Please, yes.
I don't know if you can actually read that or not. Maybe you can.
Respect.
Yeah.
RESPECT.
Now, I could pull a lot of words out of here, and probably none of them would get you to sing, but this could, and that was just a small sampling of your singing ability.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it?
Respect.
Yeah.
What you think about that?
Well, the immediate, I mean, there's volumes of stuff written about the topic of respect, but what immediately pops to mind when I hear that word currently is the idea of having the predisposition to treat everyone that you meet, no matter who they are, where they came from, what they do, whether you agree with them or not, you treat them with respect and dignity. They are human beings. They are God's creation. They are alive and contributing to this world in some way. Everybody deserves to be respected. And so that's the very first thought that comes to mind is, again, having the predisposition to respect everybody that's out there in your world to start with. How about you? What pops to your mind when you see it?
So that's fair. I love you opening with that, right? So I absolutely agree with treating people with respect, and it's a two-way street, right? So you're gonna get what you give, and vice versa. So you treat people with respect, you can have that or hold that as an expectation in return. There should be some reciprocity there. So yeah, I mean, you absolutely have to lead with that and treat everyone with respect. The other thing, though, that I want to take the people part of it out of the equation, because I think one of the things that's missing in our society today is the respect for tradition and things that have occurred, respect for history, respect for other people's property. Just respect is just like a huge void, and it's not just in how we respect one another, right? That's one symptom, but it's in how we respect everything potentially. Tradition, people's property, I mean, just the gamut. So it's something we need more of for sure, and need to be holding people accountable for.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that's really good. And it makes so many stories and things and memories run through my mind. That, yeah, especially folks who don't know why the tradition is what it is. I don't really understand why people are like that. I don't understand where that comes from. Well, before you toss it aside and
Right.
decide it's not important,
Yeah.
take a minute, figure out why the fence was built in the first place
Yep.
before you tear the fence down.
It's like, one of the recent examples I can think of is this whole dress code in the Senate. Why are we even having that conversation?
Right.
I mean, that's always been an environment where there was a certain level of respect and decorum that was just expected, right? And you didn't, Fetterman, whatever reason he wears his, stuff like he's going to shoot some hoops. That is not how you show up. That is an insult to the institution. And, trust me, that the Senate and the Congress in general has their faults, right? Their warts and hairs, as you will say. But it's still something deserving of respect. It is still the greatest democracy on this planet. And, it's just disrespectful to behave in that way. Absolutely disrespectful. And I'm glad that they are reversing their initial intent of laxing that and actually saying nope. And I was pleased to see him in a suit and tie the other day. And I'm not a big suit and tie fan anymore, right? There was a time where I enjoyed wearing a suit and tie, and I still do occasionally. The tie is not such a big deal because you can't see but the bottom, half of it. But anyways, I mean, that is an environment where you need to dress that way, and it's a respect thing.
That because I'm, as you know, I'm largely tuned out of much of the news just because I don't want to waste my mental energy on it. I have not been really tracking that issue. I mean, I know that I've seen Senator, I'm sorry, what's his last name again? Fetterman or something?
Yeah.
And he does look like, you're right. Your description was perfect. He every time I've seen him, he looks like he's getting ready to go play basketball. Yeah.
And he goes onto the floor of the Senate like that, and that's just disrespectful.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not, like I said, I'm not familiar with that issue or whatever, but they changed the rules or something because of him, or
yeah, there was some consideration. I think they might have actually changed them for a short time. I could be mistaken on that.
Okay.
But then ultimately they put out, no, these are the rules. We're staying with the rules that require this dress code, and which is the way it should.
Okay. I want to tell you about a story that reminds me of respect, and it's kind of a little bit different way of looking at it, but true story. I think I may have told the story one other time, perhaps years ago.
All right.
I was driving down the highway in my vehicle, and I looked in my rearview mirror, and I started to change lanes over to the lane in my right, and there was a car right in my blind spot. And so by the time I started moving over, all of a sudden I hear the horn, and I swerve, the other person swerves. It was a near miss, but it was, I hate when I do that, because I hate when people do it to me, because it just sort of freaks you out. You're driving along in your lane, enjoying your business, and somebody comes over and cuts right in front of you. In many cases, don't even realize they've done it, because again, you're in the blind spot. So I swerve back, I get into my lane. We don't hit, everything's fine. But I'm now aware that this person is potentially, really pissed off that I've swerved over, and road rage and all the stuff that goes on. So I continue to drive, and I'm like, oh, glad we didn't hit. And this car drives up right beside me, and I'm not looking because I don't want to turn it into anything.
Right.
But the car slides right next to me and then matches my speed. So I'm like, oh, great. Here we go. But it wasn't any it was just there. So finally, I look over to see what's going on. And it's this young woman, and she flashes me the peace sign. And it just totally de-escalated everything. She basically, what was saying, you're cool. I know it was a mistake. I know that you didn't see me. I'm fine. I just want you to know, peace. You're good. And I was like, wow. And now that's what I do. When somebody does that accidentally to me, instead of getting all upset, I think of this incident.
Right.
That to me is a degree of giving the other person some respect. So
that's very cool. You're absolutely
cool?
right. Because I've seen it, and I have been the one getting upset in times past. I fight that urge, and I say I fight it. I really don't have that same response anymore. If I think it's malicious or intentional, that different story. If it's obvious that somebody's just having a moment, not paying attention, I don't get so upset. As long as I'm able to avoid it and react to it and take evasive maneuver, then I'm not worried about it, right? And I don't get all upset, but I do have fun with those people that get upset sometimes, if it happens to be me that has the little error in judgment and move somebody's way when I shouldn't, or do something that they don't like. Maybe I slow down when they wanted me to speed up or whatever, and they get all fired up, and they're giving me the New Jersey wave and so on. I found the best way to de-escalate those situations is to blow them a kiss. That seems to work in most all circumstances. It just calms them right down.
Yeah. Somehow I don't believe that.
Yeah. No, I would not encourage you to blow people a kiss that are all pissed off at you, because it might actually be like throwing accelerant on a fire. Yeah.
Exactly.
But sometimes it's fun. You just want to entertain yourself.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of contrary to what we're talking about tonight.
Yeah,
So anyway, that obviously made a huge impression on me. This was like 30 years ago, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I even remember what the woman looked like, and she was probably about high 20s, And I thought, wow, that was very cool, because I was like, all right, that was a very classy move, and I appreciated it.
Yeah,
So there you go.
that is cool.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
all I got in
Well,
respect.
that's respect.
All right, you
Respect
got
each
the next
other.
one.
Respect traditions. Respect the institutions that we have established in our country.
Respect yourself.
Oh yeah, that's number one, right? That actually is the foundation, because I would argue that if you don't do that, you're not respecting anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. Good,
Yeah.
good to throw that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, shall we go back to the bucket again?
Yes, and you go first on this one.
Maybe. All right, we're into the bucket. Is it that one? No, it's not that one. It's not that one. It's not that one. I'm not looking in the bucket, Kevin. All right, I got one here. It's completely folded up. No idea what it is. All right, and I'm not even going to look at it first. I'm going to let you see it first. I can read it through the
What
paper.
men want? What men want?
Oh, and I have to
Wow.
go
Yeah, you
first.
take this one, man. You take this one.
So I love this discussion, right? Because this actually is a what men want and what women want kind of discussion. So and we can talk about the what women want as well. But the what men want is, drum roll, please,
Brrrr.
significance. That is the number one thing that men have as a need, is the feeling of significance in their lives. Now,
Even when you're 15?
well, I said men,
Okay.
right?
I-
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe at 15 too, right? Because he's certainly that young 15-year-old who's got his eye on the cheerleader that's just drop dead gorgeous. He wants to feel significant and be noticed by that cheerleader,
Yes.
right?
All right. Significance. What men want. Okay. Of course, I went right to, what do men
Of course you did.
what do men want? Sex. That's
Well, that's number two on the. Well, I think a lot of things can roll into that whole significance
yeah.
thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Right. You're absolutely
Because that is a part of being involved in a loving relationship with a partner, your wife, girlfriend, and
right.
yeah, I mean that's all part and parcel of that, I think. But yeah, significance.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now that you said that, um, I don't know what else to. I, I, I guess I can't on the spot think of a better answer than that, because as I try to unpack what that means, I think it's pretty darn accurate, actually. And do you think women are different that way?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So, and this is information I can't recall specifically where I got this information from, but it's something that I studied many years ago, and so it was part of this whole thing was talking about the needs of men, the needs of women, and so on. And the flip side of it is the needs of women. The number one need that women feel is safety and security.
Okay. That
They
kind of
need
makes
to
sense.
feel safe and secure.
Okay.
So yeah, and there's some of these folks that believe in the excessive side of equality, like the female college swimmer that really is not a female and things like that are okay, might not agree with this. And at the same time, it is just a fact that for most cases, there might be some misnomers out there or some exceptions. In most cases, men are physically superior to women. And that's not because they're better people, smarter people. It's just biology and the way we were created. And men have been the ones who historically have gone to battle, and been protectors of women. Now, there's been some legendary women out there that have engaged in battle too, so not giving them short shrift. When you're talking about majority, though, it's usually the men that serve as the protectors in those families. And
Yeah,
they
I
need to feel
agree.
that safety
I
and
mean, yeah,
security.
men go to war in large measure at a much greater percentage than women do, for sure.
Right.
You use the word that I think you use the word men are superior physically, and so what I would say is men are stronger, men are
Yeah.
faster, bigger. When you use the word superior,
Yeah, that's a great. I'm glad you called me out on that because superior is. I mean, there's certainly things about the anatomy of females that are way superior to anything men have to offer.
right?
But the stronger, that's exactly what I intended my
Right.
message to mean. So if I said that incorrectly, thanks for calling that out.
No problem. All good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. See, now I'm gonna dwell on this topic for a long time because I'd like to read some stuff about it. And I didn't. I haven't really come across that. What do men want? What do women want? So
Yeah, and I'll go back and see if I can find where I got that from and share that source with you.
but I think that's great. Yeah. Awesome.
Cool.
You want to do one more, or is that enough for tonight?
I don't know what kind of time we're looking at on the clock here. I think we're good with those.
Okay.
Unless you feel compelled to do one more.
I do not. I'm good.
I think that was a good discussion. Respect and what men want and what women want. And what women want was a bonus to what men want.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I think that's a good recovery for a topic that we did not have and had to cover for a previously scheduled interview.
You bet.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You are certainly welcome, man. Thank you. And can we say goodbye to Abe real quick?
Yeah. Abe, what do you think of that? I thought that was quite good. You think Abe talked like that?
I don't know. I probably not.
What do you think, Abe?
I think if Abe talked like that, he might not be as legendary as he is.
You're right. Yeah. Abe is good. Abe, yes, I'm good. Yes. Okay.
Nice.
Thanks, Abe. Thanks for your motivation and inspiration.
Did a fine job. Fine
Yes.
job. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for the discussion. Now I'm going to reach over here and do my thing.
All righty.
And say something like this. No matter who you are, where you are, what you're doing, hanging out with Abe, make sure between this podcast and the next, you take time to
enjoy the ride.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Graybeard Chronicles. Please subscribe so you'll receive notification when new episodes are available. To learn more about the Graybeards, visit their website, graybeardchronicles.com.